Hello students. Today in this lecture I am going to explain the structure of neuron. Neuron is the structural and functional unit of our neural system. Neuron structurally it has mainly two regions. One is cell body, which is also called as cyton or perikaryon or soma, and the second one is the cytoplasmic processes. There are two types of cytoplasmic processes are there in neuron, which are dendrites and the second one is axon. So let us have a look how this neuron structurally looks like. Neuron has a cell body called as cyton. This one is the cyton, which has a large central prominent nucleus. It is having the cytoplasm, and the cyton has all cell organelles except the centrioles, so hence the neuron will not divide. So the cyton has a nucleus, so mononucleated cell. It has cytoplasm and all necessary cell organelles except the centriole. Along with this, cyton has specialized granular bodies called as Nissls granules. So these Nissls granules are formed from cell organelles like ribosome and endoplasmic reticulum. The ribosome and EPR, endoplasmic reticulum, produces the granular bodies called as Nissls granules, and its main function is they involve in protein synthesis. So inside the cyton, the Nissls granules are found, and these Nissls granules, which are generally rod shaped, they extend from cyton to many branched cytoplasmic processes that arise from the cyton called as dendrites. So Nissls granules are found in cyton and dendrite, but these are absent in axon. And the next part of neuron is the cytoplasmic processes. First of all, the dendrites. These dendrites are many in number, and these are the branched cytoplasmic processes that arise from the cell body. It looks like this. So here, as I said earlier, the Nissls granules are extended, means they are also found in the dendrites. the main function of dendrites, these dendrites, they carry the stimulus towards the cell body. So they carry the stimulus towards the cytone or cell body. This is about the dendrites. And the next cytoplasmic process is the axon. Axon is long unbranched cytoplasmic process, as you can see here. So this one is the axon. Axon has a membrane. The cell membrane of the axon is called axolemma, and inside the axon you can see the cytoplasm. The cytoplasm of the axon is called as axoplasm. So this axon carry impulses away from the cell body. Carry impulse or action potential away from cell body or cytone. The axon again terminates with many axon terminals like this. So these are the axon terminals. Which are also called as telodendria. The axon terminal or telodendria, it is mainly having more number of mitochondria. This mitochondria helps in the synthesis of neurotransmitters like acetylcholine. So here the synthesis of acetylcholine takes place inside mitochondria with the help of enzyme acetylcholine transferase. And again these axon terminals ends with bulb-like structures called as synaptic knob. So here these structures are synaptic knob. These synaptic knob having certain membranous structures called synaptic vesicles. Which has neurotransmitters inside this that helps in the transmission of impulses from one neuron to the next neuron. And this synaptic knob also form synapse, also called as junction between two successive neurons. About synapse I will explain in the next lecture. So this is how the axon look, and this area from where axon emerges from the cell body is called axon hillock. It is the neuron's trigger site. It is a neuron's trigger site where action potentials are triggered. So at this point, action potentials are triggered. That action potential is transmitted along this axon. So this is about the neuron. But along with this, neuron also surrounded by certain specialized cells, especially the axon. Axon is also called the nerve fiber. This axon is surrounded by specialized cells. Those are called as neuroglial cells. For example, in the peripheral nervous system, the axon is surrounded by specialized neuroglial cells called as Schwann cells. These are the Schwann cells. These Schwann cells synthesize a specialized phospholipid called as sphingomyelin. That phospholipid layer will surround this axon at this region, which is called as myelin sheath. So this one is the myelin sheath which surrounds the axon. This myelin sheath, it acts as insulator which prevent the leakage of ions while conduction of the action potential. And this one is the Schwann cell. This Schwann cell secretes the myelin sheath, but here this is the nucleus of Schwann cell, but it is not the nucleus of the neuron. The entire neuron is a single cell starting from here to here up to synaptic knob. It is the single cell and it is one of the longest cells in our body, and it has only one nucleus. That too we could find this nucleus in the cell body, and this one is the nucleus of Schwann cell, not the nucleus of neuron. Schwann cells are the neuroglial cells. Okay, and along the axon you could see these Schwann cells like this. So based on presence or absence of myelin sheath, neuron is of two types. So first one is the myelinated neuron. Myelinated neurons are found in central nervous system and peripheral nervous system. As I said earlier, in peripheral nervous system, the myelin sheath is formed with the help of Schwann cells. Means Schwann cells helps in myelinogenesis. But in central nervous system, there are other neuroglial cells called oligodendrocytes. These oligodendrocytes helps in myelinogenesis. So you have to remember, in CNS, the axon is surrounded by oligodendrocytes and myelinogenesis is with the help of oligodendrocytes. In peripheral nervous system, the axon is surrounded by Schwann cells, and Schwann cells helps in the formation of myelin sheath. Whereas the second type of neuron is non-myelinated neuron. These non-myelinated neurons are found in autonomous neural system, that is in the ANS, where myelin sheath is absent. Schwann cells are present, but Schwann cells do not secrete myelin sheath, which means there is no myelinogenesis in the autonomous neural system. So finally, the neuron has cyton, dendrite and axon, and if it is surrounded by myelin sheath, it is called myelinated. If myelin sheath is absent, it is called non-myelinated neuron. So this is about the structure of neuron. In the next lecture, I am going to explain the synapse and neuromuscular junction. I think this class is useful for PUC students and as well as for high school students and even for paramedical science students.